Hi everybody, this is Tony Richards, and this week I want to talk to you about how you think about yourself. And average people think they're average, right? Average people think you're average. Now, think they're average. Now, I don't really believe, I have never believed, and I still don't to this day believe, that anybody likes average. That anybody likes average. You know, I don't think that anybody gets up in the morning and says, well, today I'm going to get up in my average house. I'm going to go have an average breakfast. I'm going to say hello to my average spouse. And I'm going to, take my average kids to school. And I'm going to go to my average job. And then I'm going to have an average day. And then I'm going to come home and we might have an average dinner. And then maybe we'll go out to an average movie. Now, you think anybody really wants average? I don't think anybody wants average. I think they believe they would like to have the best of a lot of things, right? If you want to go pay your hard-earned movie or money for a movie, do you want to see an average movie or do you want to see the best movie you can see? If you have a car, do you want to invest in an average car or do you want the best car that you can possibly attain, right? And so that's what I'm asking you about you today is do you really want to be average? I don't think most people want to be average. I think people like to be, because if you look at the way the world is structured through contests. And even as we progress through school, right, there's a grade system. There's A's, there's B's, there's C's, there's D's, there's F's, right? And you might be a C student, but you really don't want to be a C student, right? You'd really like to be an A student. So it all starts in your thinking, and thinking how you think about yourself. And what I've learned is that average to lower level leaders are just getting by. They are just thinking about getting through the day. They're just thinking about getting their work done, just struggling and trying to get things taken care of. But above average leaders are always trying to make things better. And this culminates a lot of things we've been talking about in this video series. Because if you were to embrace change, wouldn't embracing change mean that things are going to get better? And as I told you in another video that we've done previously, I never can imagine a time in my life when I didn't want some part of my life to be better, right? So thinking about how you can be better and be the best at whatever it is you do will raise the bar. And it's not goal achievement, right? It's not all about achieving goals. It's about the process of getting from one place to another place, right? It's not about watching all of these videos, which would be great if you did, but it's about what these videos will create in your thinking and in your feelings and in your thoughts about what could actually be. If you really applied yourself, if you really went for it, if you really decided that I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today, that's exactly the kind of process I'm talking about in being valuable. It's not always the end result that makes us better. It's the journey and the path along the way that changes us and morphs us and develops us into being better. As you look at your leadership and your business, I've got a strategic question for you to ponder until we get together again on our next video. And here's the question. What 3 things could you do in the next 90 days that would make a 50% difference in the way things are now? What 3 things could you do in the next 90 days that would make a 50% difference in the way things are now? Now, you'll have to take some time. You'll have to take your journal and you'll have to get some quiet time so you can actually free your mind and begin to think wow, I have to locate the lever, right? Because in our leadership and business, there's always levers, and we can push one lever or we can pull one lever back. So what are the strategic levers? And then what are the 3 things or levers that we can grab hold of and that we can push forward to make a 50% difference in 90 days from the way things are now. And that's where you need to put your focus, and that's the way you need to think is, what do I need to do to be 50% better in 90 days than I am today? Now, if you want to increase your, we talk about thinking from a ground level, a 10,000 foot level, and a 30,000 foot level. If you really want to go up to a 30,000 foot level, you ask yourself, what 3 things could I do in the next year? But I'm going to warn you, okay, as you expand that out to a year, you will automatically, your mind will begin to try to convince you, well, it's a year, I've got time. Right? And you'll think, oh, I'll get started on that because I've got a year. And you'll fool yourself into not executing. Okay, so I like the 90-day better because tight deadlines cause people to do action. So you can increase your overall view by extending the time limit, but that's danger zone on your execution. So, you know, the real strong question I want you to ask yourself is, what 3 things can I do? And you can even apply it to your team. What 3 things can my team do? And maybe you'll have a meeting and you'll collaboratively ask and collegially come together and decide what 3 things can we do in the next 90 days that'll make a 50% difference in where we are now and the results we want in 90 days.